Like if you found the video valuable. When Emma Green inherited her grandmother's old countryside cottage, she didn't expect to find much more than antique furniture, faded photos, and memories wrapped in dust. The house had sat untouched for over a year since her grandmother, Nora, had passed away peacefully in her sleep. Emma took a few weeks off from her teaching job to visit the property. The plan was simple: clean up, decide what to keep, and prepare the house for sale. But on her third day there, while exploring the attic, something unexpected happened. Behind a stack of yellowing quilts, she discovered a small cedar chest. It was locked, but the key, rusted and delicate, was taped to the inside of the lid. Inside were dozens of carefully folded letters, tied together with a burgundy ribbon. The paper was brittle, the ink faded with time. Emma held the top letter up to the sunlight filtering through the attic window. The date read, July 3, 1962. The salutation stopped her cold. My dearest Nora, not a day passes without your memory clinging to my chest like morning fog over the lake. Emma read through the first letter slowly. It was beautifully written, raw, poetic, and full of longing. The author, a man named Henry, spoke of stolen summer evenings, jazz records, and promises made beneath the stars. But she had never heard of a Henry. Her grandfather's name was Walter, and he had passed before Emma was born. Nora had rarely spoken of him, but when she did, it was always in the tone of quiet obligation, not affection. Curiosity sparked into obsession. Emma read every letter. Each one painted a portrait of a secret love, deep and passionate, hidden from the world. They talked about books, dreams of Paris, and eventually, parting. The final letter was dated November 1964. If this is the last time I ever write you, let it be known, you were my only true home. After reading it, Emma sat in the attic for hours, staring out the small window at the wind bending the trees. Who was Henry? Why had their love ended? And why had her grandmother never spoken of him? Determined to find out more, Emma searched through the rest of the cottage. In a drawer beside the bed, she found a worn black and white photograph of her grandmother as a young woman, and beside her, a handsome man with gentle eyes, standing on a dock. On the back, in pencil, Nora and Henry, summer, 62 Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake, that was just 2 towns over. Emma drove there the next morning. At the town library, she asked about old community records. A kind older librarian named Sarah helped her dig through archived newspapers. It didn't take long to find the name Henry Prescott. In a July 1963 column, Emma read, local jazz pianist Henry Prescott returns from New York after a brief tour with the Ellis Quartet. Mr. Prescott will be playing weekends at the Blue Heron Lounge through August. A jazz pianist. It matched the letters, but the final discovery came later that afternoon. Emma stopped by the Blue Heron Lounge, now a bakery, and asked if anyone remembered Henry. The owner, a woman in her 60s, smiled and said, Henry? He still plays at the Lake Pavilion every Sunday afternoon. Lives in a little cabin past the marina. Emma drove there with shaking hands. The cabin was modest and surrounded by pine trees. A wind chime swayed gently on the porch. She knocked. After a moment, the door opened. An elderly man with kind, familiar eyes looked at her with surprise. Can I help you? He asked. Emma swallowed hard. Are you Henry Prescott? I am, he said cautiously. She reached into her tote and pulled out the bundle of letters. I think these belong to you. He stared at the ribbon-tied stack in silence. Then he stepped aside. Come in. Inside, the cabin was filled with music, records, a grand piano, faded photographs. He sat down slowly, thumbing the top letter. I never thought I'd see these again, he said, his voice rough with emotion. Emma told him everything, about the attic, about Nora, about her grandmother's passing. Henry wiped a tear from his cheek. I loved her deeply, he said. But her parents disapproved of me. Said I wasn't suitable. She married Walter to keep the peace, but we kept in touch, secretly, for a while. Then one day, she stopped writing. Emma felt a lump form in her throat. She kept every letter. He smiled sadly. I always hoped she remembered me. They sat in silence, the weight of the years hanging gently in the room. Before Emma left, Henry pressed a weathered envelope into her hand. This was the letter I wrote her the day she got married. I never sent it. Maybe it's time someone read it. That night, back in her grandmother's cottage, Emma sat on the porch and opened the envelope. Inside was a single letter and a sketch of Nora sitting at Crystal Lake, her feet in the water. Nora, even if the world has taken you from me, I will carry you in every note I play, every chord I touch. I wish you happiness, even if it isn't with me. Always, Henry. Emma stared out at the stars. Love, she realized, doesn't always end with a kiss or a promise. Sometimes, it just lives on, in attics, in memories, and in the letters we leave behind. And sometimes, it finds its way back.